place, I want to make a connection between the comments I made on Christmas Eve and these readings. On Christmas Eve, I spoke about the 4 parts of the event of Christmas. One is God who's at the center. He's born as a human being, as a child, vulnerable, in humility. The other part is the seekers, the Magi, who are looking for God, who are searching, whose hearts are yearning to experience Him, and it is finally revealed to them through the star that appears, which scientists have been wondering for centuries about what that star is, whether it was a comet or something else. Well, I think it was a miracle. It was an angel. It was a specific miracle that God created to lead the Magi from where the land is to where Jesus was born. So the seekers receive that revelation, and they are able to actually come and worship God. And then you have the ones who are humble of heart, pure of heart, the shepherds, who actually see the angel. And the angel reveals to them the full event and points to them where the Jesus baby is, the newborn baby is. And they are able to go and worship Him right at the spot where He was born. And then, of course, there is Herod, who is hard of heart, who is amazingly stubborn, selfish, self-centered, power-hungry, and when he discovers there is another king, the possibility of another king, he becomes mad, and he finally sends out and kills all the children that were under 2 years old, once the Magi would not return to him to tell him where Jesus is so that he can go kill him. And then we jump forward several years, 40 years later, 50 years later. We jump forward, and there is another man who is a seeker and he is pure of heart at the same time. His name is Saul actually. His name is Saul. And he's yearning for God. He's very educated. He's gone to school. He's learned the scriptures. He knows the prophets. He knows everything about the Messiah. Do you think the Messiah will be revealed to him? Yes. Because his heart is yearning for him. And although in the beginning he becomes the persecutor of those who follow Jesus, because he doesn't know that Jesus is the Messiah, he doesn't know that Jesus is the Son of God, he doesn't really comprehend that, he doesn't understand it, he sees the leadership of the Jews persecuting this new heresy, this new group of people that have declared some guy from Nazareth to be the Messiah. And he's upset as well. And he participates in this persecution. In fact, yesterday, we celebrated the feast of St. Stephen, the first martyr, the deacon, who is one of the 7 deacons that the apostles appointed, they elected. Once they realized that the group was growing, the Christian group was growing, and there were too many people, and they were serving tables instead of preaching the gospel, they decided to elect men of quality, of character, to serve as deacons. And we elected our own yesterday, Paul Lambert, and we ordained him. Very appropriately the feast of St. Stephen. But St. Stephen, he is serving as a deacon. And of course, the persecution has begun and he is arrested. And he gives an amazing speech, go to the book of Acts, where he tells these people who the Messiah is and how the Messiah has come. And of course, he ends up being killed by rocks. And Paul was there, the seeker, the one of pure heart, the one who loved God, the one who was looking for God. He was there. He didn't throw any stones at Stephen, but he was there looking after the clothes of those who were actually killing Stephen and Stephen. and he was in his darkness. He continued the persecution. He was sent by the leadership to go to Damascus to arrest Christians. And he was on the road to Damascus. That God is finally revealed to him. God could not stand to see his servant Saul, who loved him so much, be in darkness. So he shone a light upon him. He struck him with lightning. He fell off his horse. He was blinded by the light. And then the Lord spoke to him and said to him that you can't continue to do this. He says, who are you, Lord? And he says, I am Jesus, the one that you are persecuting. And you will remain blind, and you will go to Damascus and find Ananias at the street called Straight, and he will heal you. And you need to follow me. And Paul, he says here directly in the epistle to the Galatians, for I will have you know, brethren, that the gospel which was preached by me is not man's gospel. For I did not receive it from man, nor was I taught it, but it came through a revelation of Jesus Christ. For you have heard of my former life in Judaism, how I persecuted the church of God violently and tried to destroy it, and I advanced in Judaism beyond many of my own age among my people. So extremely zealous was I for the traditions of my fathers. But when he who had set me apart before I was born, and had called me through his grace, was pleased to reveal his Son to me, in order that I might preach him among the Gentiles. I did not confer with flesh and blood, nor did I go up to Jerusalem to those who were apostles before me. But I went away into Arabia, and again I returned to Damascus. And then, after 3 years, I went to meet Cephas, Peter, and the other apostles. Paul is a vessel of the grace of God. He became a vessel of the grace of God through revelation. And revelation has not ended for people who seek him, and the people who love him, and the people who want to know him, who are pure of heart. God continues to be revealed through the centuries to those that love him. That's how people follow him. That's how people are willing to give their lives for him. That's how people are willing to leave everything else and become his servants. Like Paul, like others have done. God is alive, and he's reaching out to us, each one of us, where we are. He's reaching out to you today, to your heart. Turn it to him, become inclined toward him, and he will reveal himself to you in a pure way. As long as we put aside our egotism, our pride, our self-centeredness, our love for money, our love for this world, he will be revealed to us fully, like he did for Paul and the others.